Oh, hang on a second. Welcome to my channel. I'm pretty new at this. I'm 100-ish subscribers in. This is all a comprehensive, just to tell you what this video is about. If you clicked on the thumbnail, if you clicked on the question, we're building a woodworking business. If you like woodworking, you like cool projects, you see it, maybe you want to do it one day, maybe you have a full-time job that you can't part from because of responsibilities. How do you get started? So we've got this really nice table curing. This is going to be sort of a vlog, but it's very informational. Is that the right word?
Informative.
Anyway, tables. What social media sites work? What sites work? You're thinking about trying Etsy, you're thinking about trying eBay. You're not really entirely sure Facebook Marketplace, but everybody's cheap and they waste your time. My answer is the short version. If you don't want to listen to all this, they all work. It just kind of depends on how you sell it, how you present it, and there's a lot to that. Breaking it down. Facebook Marketplace, it's a good place if you have items that can be haggled. It's still always good to present your item in all your items that you have for sale. If you have something ready to go, put it on Facebook Marketplace because you can draw clients, especially if it looks really nice. Everybody shops there for different reasons, but there's an odd chance that somebody may come across and see it. I've gathered clients that way.
Loud noises!
And always present them in the best quality way you can. Your best camera you have is the camera you have. However, that is no excuse to have blurry photos, too small of photos, too large of photos, not very good angles. You really need to be educated in those things, at least on the basics, because you're trying to draw clients, but you're also trying to sell items. And that is key number one. People like things that look pretty, and that's really summing it all up. Facebook Marketplace has a boosting program, which is tethered to Meta ads. It offers you typically like $6 a day, and it'll tell you a range of impressions that you get. Now, the difference between impressions and engagement are very different. So it's important to understand you may have 18,000 impressions, but you may only have 200 clicks. So it's very, very different. When you pay that amount, it's not telling you that you're going to have 18,000 people clicking on your item. Going back to presentation, if it's really nice, it doesn't have to be super professional. It just needs to be nice, like you care about what you're selling. If you can do that, someone may request an item from you, or they may buy what you have. Following into the same thing with Facebook Marketplace, you need to be able to break it down into some price that you can afford to sell it at. If you really want to sell, say, cutting boards, your Facebook Marketplace individuals are typically not going to buy a cutting board for the market rate. So it's important to put items on there if you know that you're not going to sell it or it's going to sell slow. You just want to present your work. At the odd chance, never say never. Somebody could buy it and just fall in love with it. They do buy things from local artists. Moving on to the next one, Meta ads in general, Facebook in general. You see those sponsored ads on the pages and so on. We won't get too much into this portion on how to do the ads, but let's keep it moving. I'm assigning you homework. Go look at Black Forest Wood Company based out of Canada. Look at their website. Blacktail Studios. Go look at Cam's website. Four Eyes Furniture. Jeff Mack Designs, another Canadian area. Look at their websites and look at some of the most popular guys on social media. Woodworkers that are just getting started, or guys that are in your local area that are kind of suffering along, make this mistake. You need a very thorough, very nice website to compete. There are clients out there that want to see a business. They don't want to see just somebody that piddles around a little bit. And you may not be that guy, but you will be stuck in that box. You don't want to get put in that box by potential clients. We'll talk later about the details and working orders out, but this is about selling yourself, selling your items. You want to be a wood artist or craftsman, whatever word suits you. Put effort into your website. There's so many options out there. Squarespace, Wix, GoDaddy, all these places. They're of no value to you if you do not invest the time. Maybe even if you have the funds to hire somebody to make a nice website, make sure it's a reputable individual and not someone just trying to make money off of you. Again, this goes hand in hand with everything that's been discussed. Good photos, quality videos, SEO. The more information you have on a website, the more Google is going to identify you. And that's just for those that maybe are wanting to start out with their own website. You may not necessarily have the funds to hire somebody. It can get very, very pricey very quickly. I would arguably say it's more worth your time and money putting into a website than it would be paying for ads to sell your furniture. You can advertise your website on Facebook, Instagram, which are all together, and many other places. You will get clients from there. I can promise you that. You will get clients with a very sophisticated and nice website. Don't underestimate it. If you don't watch anything else of mine and you're an aspiring woodworker, this is the chapter. You have to invest time in that. This is where you put in your keywords like white oak Parsons table, hardwood dining tables, mid-century modern cabinets, black walnut cabinets, blue ocean epoxy tables, black walnut blue ocean epoxy tables. You really need to be able to be found. Put it in your area. I always have a rule for myself. Start locally, then push outward. Don't start outward because your eyes get wider than your stomach. It's very difficult when you get into the shipping aspect and so on. So take this with you. We got pecan. Everything's marked. I've had these for several months. The board footage approximately according to that scale. You know what I'm talking about if you're familiar with logs. Getting ready to start having all of this processed. Certainly looking forward to it. So oak, pecan. I actually have some chestnut down the way. Good stuff. Let's talk about these Facebook ads. Facebook ads, or meta, what you would call it. Pretty much, to sum this up, okay. Forget I'm out in the country. You got all kinds of critters crawling all over this stuff. So, man, it's the ways. Meta ads. What is the best method for this? And you're trying to sell furniture. My best suggestion is similar to Facebook Marketplace. Find a theme. And what I mean by that is you can get cloths, solid color cloths from Walmart. I'd suggest like black, white, couple neutrals, and you can set it up in your house any certain way. Maybe I'll put a video up here of how I set it up. Yeah, I will do that in between here, and I'll show you. Take some really good pictures. This takes a little bit of understanding on lighting, and I'll put an example. We're back. I interrupted the flow of the video because I wanted to show you this cloth, the background. You should invest in understanding the importance of having a backdrop. I've been guilty of not doing this method for my items, but you really should. And lights. I was able to get onto Facebook Marketplace. Speaking of, I bought several of these lights to work on lighting for my projects. I'll be sure to post more of those on my channel because we're building a business. We're not just building furniture. Back to the regular portion. Now you've got these photos and we're talking about meta ads. SEO is key in all of those things. In all of it, SEO is very key. And what I mean by SEO is you want to have something specific like white oak Parsons table. Something a little less specific would be hardwood dining table. And then you want something even more broad, dining table. Custom dining tables. You want to use words like custom furniture near me, etc. so on when you're thinking about SEO for your websites. But again, getting to meta ads, it's all a build up. So there's a lot of information in here. Hopefully you'll stick around for most of it. On the meta ads, do they work? Do any of the ads work? Do Google ads work? Do all they? The answer is yes, but you need to keep an eye on them because at the end of the day with those ads, it's a business within itself. Not throwing any shade at the way marketing agencies work, but they are marketing agencies at the end of the day. Social media thrives on your use, your dollar. Meaning, It's very competitive. So the person that pays the most in your related industry is the one that's going to get the highest up on the page. If you've noticed, Google is no longer multi-pages. It's typically just one long scroll. If you want to be in the top 5, you're going to have to pay top dollar. That's really what it gets down to. So if you're paying $20 a day, which is not cheap, but your competitor that's just like you in your area is paying $30 a day, they're going to be ahead of you. That's the way it is. It's a numbers game, and that's how all of those ads work. So you have to be mindful of your budget. Keep a set budget. Don't be too focused on, well, I'll just throw a bunch of money at it, because you will ultimately just throw a bunch of money at it for no guarantee. I'm not going to say how much I would suggest you use for your budget. Everybody's different. Obviously, you don't want to spend $200 a month for a $200 piece of furniture. Then you've got to raise the price. Google ads, are they better than Facebook ads? My opinion would be yes, because you get to advertise direct access to your website. So full circle on the chapter about having a really nice website. Google can send you straight there. It really does take a little bit of effort to know how to do it. Again, another warning with doing ads. You'll see that you get scores from time to time on ads. For example, with Google ads, you may have the know-how to market and how to apply the different words using SEO, has been mentioned in this video, and they'll give you a score. They'll say, oh, this is an excellent ad, and they'll rank you even if you get to the highest of 100%. I have found that it doesn't matter what ad effort I use, they always lower that score. They will rate it against other competitors in the industry, but that is a method to the madness on that for them being an entity that is trying to make money from you at the end of the day. Don't get too caught up in rating really highly. Just make sure you have the proper keywords, good video, good little segments that it's going to get you exposure, because that's what you're paying for ultimately. If you have a nice website, if you are doxed, so to speak, if you're familiar with that term, which is visible. You're visible, there's information about you, there's information about your business. The more that you are all over the internet, which sort of bothers some people, but when you're running a small business and if you want clients, you got to put yourself out there, and that's just the way it is. So summing all that up on the ads, all of them, they come at a cost, quite literally. You're not going to have success all the time with paying for ads, which makes social media pertinent. It's extremely important to have that, because social media, if you do it right and you do it consistently, you can have free exposure. And that, of course, drives the cost of your overhead down. That's how I would sum up Google ads versus Facebook ads versus whatever other ad you use, which leads me into Etsy. They have ads as well. Etsy was doing really well for myself and my business a few years before COVID. I was selling certain items probably 5 times a month. It was off to a good start. I ran into some shipping issues, ultimately had to shut down that portion of it for a while. When I came back after COVID, it was so saturated. There were so many builders on there. It's very hard to get noticed. So what I will say about Etsy is being as specific as you possibly can, even in the products that you make. It has to stand out. Everybody can make cutting boards at this point, is how I treat it. Everybody can make an epoxy table. You have to make something that stands out. You have to have products that can ship faster than other people can. You have to compete in pricing. It's a whole topic within itself that I won't cover throughout here. Does Etsy work? Yes, it does. It still works for me, but I sell few items compared to what I had sold several years ago. That's my tidbit on it. It does work. It is worth it. It gives you more notice on the internet when individuals are looking to find you or shopping for something, but have a style. Narrow your scope. You'll notice all of these chapters are all intertwined. It's very important. I certainly hope that if you're watching this entire video that you've taken some notes, refer back to it. Of course, it benefits me, but more than so, I want it to benefit those that are trying to get started and want to know what actually works. These all work. It just takes work. Hold that thought. So, you saw the bird got in my house. Bro. We'll call this narrow your scope. What is so important about this when it comes to selling furniture, or any business for that matter, but we're focusing on furniture. You may have a goal to build many things, whether that be guitars, tables, cabinets, kitchen cabinets, hallway cabinets, console tables. While you're building your business and working on selling your furniture, I would highly suggest focusing on one area of it and be very, very good at selling that item before you go to the next. And taking care of your clients, that's always an ongoing process. But when it comes to efficiency and being able to be seen, there may be 100 barn door builders in that area, but if you're the one that's marketing the most and very focused on that, then you're going to sell well. Take car dealerships, for example. You have many car dealerships, but you know which ones are where, and they often focus on certain models or certain brands, and that goes into a lot of marketing techniques, finding those things to be good at. For example, I focus on black walnut and white oak. I'm the most familiar. I'm always learning about these particular species. They are very popular because there's a certain amount of demand for it. So thinking about those when it comes to your websites, thinking about that when it comes to paying for ads. Individuals are looking for these items, and it's good. You know, you're building your business. Now, that was a lot of information. This is a conference table that's coming up. There's a video coming up for it. 2 walnut pieces from 2 very different areas. Certainly hope you watch that video when I post it. Thank you guys so much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback on something you'd want to discuss or talk about in the woodworking world. Until then, enjoy the end of this video. I'll see you next time.